global warming is coming. It's happening. It's happening while we speak. I mean, right now, we're sitting in front of, right in the middle of a heat wave, right? People are actually dying from this thing. It's hot, man. It's hot everywhere. It's hot every day right now. And I think, I think everybody on the earth realizes, that we're in some trouble here. And, our biggest concern is, global warming. And so what can be done about that? I mean, it seems like insurmountable feat, right? To reduce our emissions and get our planet back on track. And I think we can all agree that one of the most important places on our planet that we can save is Antarctica. I mean, Antarctica is, it's keeping our planet regulated. It's keeping our, if it melts, our water levels rise. We lose big cities, man. We displace millions and millions, 1 billion people probably displaced. So I think that, preventing the ice on Antarctica from melting is in everybody's best interest, and is, somewhere has been on, everybody's mind at least once. And so I really do have a proposition, and it's not such an outlandish idea. It's something that's very doable, and it's something that's going to take a mass awareness in order to achieve that. It's going to take a big mass awareness. So I really do hope people share this video, because this could be one of the most important moments of our planet's history right now as I speak to you. So I'm just going to kind of just jump right into it and give you some numbers here. For starters, Antarctica is 14 kilometers, square kilometers in size, 14 million square kilometers in size. That's huge. That's big. That's a big piece of land that is not owned. There's claims on it, but it is not owned. And what I propose is this, I propose to take Antarctica and to take that 14 million square kilometers, divide that up into acres, and once you divide that up into acres, it adds up to 3.46 billion acres. It's a lot of acres, all right? And now take those acres and sell those acres all around the world so that people can own part of Antarctica. Wouldn't that be the coolest thing in the world, man, to have a plaque on your wall? If someone comes over for dinner, you can look to the left and go, there's my piece of Antarctica that I own. All right? Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, well, then we're gonna destroy Antarctica. All right? But we're not, because there was a treaty in place back in, I believe it was 1959, between 7 different countries who all have a claim on Antarctica. All right, and the treaty explains that Antarctica can only be used for peaceful and scientific purposes. All right, as well as it states that no other country from the time that the treaty is in place can put a claim on Antarctica or make claim to Antarctica. Just claims add to claims. Nothing can be done. And since then, 53 countries are all on that agreement now, the Antarctica Treaty. All right, and so it's not going to mess up Antarctica, because this whole thing sticks with the treaty. Because when you buy your acre, or whatever it is, maybe you want 2 acres, 4 acres, 5 acres, who cares? The fact is that when you buy that patch of land for that amount, it solidifies that land forevermore and eternity as a world park, a worldwide park, an earth-wide park. So it can never be used, no matter what happens with government, it can never turn around and be used for any, you know, vicious or whatever purposes, populated, all that kind of stuff. It is now a world park, and you own that piece of world park. All right, but not, you know, but not only that. I mean, you can also name your patch of land. You know, my name's Chris, man. I can name my patch of land Chrisland. And that's it. You register your piece of land. It's now named Chrisland, just that piece of land, and it's part of the, you know, Antarctica. And so now you've got a named piece of land. But not only that, why not, you know, why not a citizenship? You know, an honorary citizenship to Antarctica for helping preserve and save the world. So now not only that, you're an honorary citizen of Antarctica. You've got your own named patches of land in Antarctica that you own. You get a nice plaque for your wall, some nice paperwork, whatever, your registration, your registered owner. The good part about it is that it's all novelty. All of it, novelty. But it's cool, and you solidify that park forevermore as World Park, okay? That's the cool part. You can't use it as an address. You're not gonna get an Antarctica passport, you know, all that kind of stuff. You can't reroute, you know, whatever, anything through Antarctica. It's just honorary, okay? So that's the coolest part. And now, to make it happen, all right? Well, first I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about numbers, because I did miss a number. And the number is, I'm just gonna use $100. Say you sell an acre for $100, which is actually a really cheap piece of land on the planet. But $100, okay, take your $3.46 billion, times that by that $100. That becomes $346 billion. And you don't even have to do it for 100. That seems a bit high. You could even do it for, you know, $50 an acre, $20 an acre. Let people donate, 25 being minimum. Either which way, this here, there's 195 countries in the world. 195. There's only 2 that aren't in the United Nations, okay? And so 195 countries in the world, they would all get their own billion. And it doesn't have to go to governments. These charities, all these places all around the world, all these, you know, greenhouse places, or green, tech companies, all these environmentalists, you know, companies, people trying to clean up the ocean, the air, the sky, the seas, the land. Those guys. It goes to those guys, and they all have to apply to a single fund. And the only thing that can mess this up is mismanagement of funds or greed. And it's not that hard to achieve this. All right, there's not a big overhead to achieve this, a big printing press to print off all these documents, that's it. But the fact of the matter is, all this needs to gain traction is to get in front of the United Nations. Because every country in the world is in that United Nations, all right? And if this can get in front of the United Nations, and maybe they can, you know, talk about it, whatnot, this, that, pass a bill, but good God, what the world could do with $300 billion pumped into our green projects. We could save this planet. We definitely could. We could clean it up. There's countries out there emitting only 3% waste. I mean, the whole world could emit 3% waste. I mean, like, it's crazy to think about what can be done if the funds aren't there, if people aren't spending most of their time on raising funds. Just think about it. Imagine, you know, you have one ocean cleaning machine. Now you have 1,000 ocean cleaning machines. Think about how quick that ocean gets cleaned up. It's unbelievable. So I just want you guys to really think about that. Think about those numbers. Think about what can be done. Think about what I said. It's a project that takes no money out of the government. Unless they want to buy their own patches, it takes no money out of the normal man. Unless they want to buy their own patches, it takes no money out of the corporation's hands. Unless they want to buy their own patches and call it, you know, McDonald's land. Who cares? I can't put a restaurant on it. The fact of the matter is that, you know, it's doable. It's doable. So please share. Share as much as you can, because this will either be the most important video that this planet's ever had, for at least in terms of environmental, or it'll just get lost with the other billion people out there, and you know, people who don't share it, whatever, I guess you don't care as much as I do anyway. But yeah, I really do hope people share it, because I think it's really, really important. So I just hope the ignorance of the human race, you know, with everything else that's going on, people's daily lives, everybody's into their own lives, and I get that life is hard to get ahead. So, I mean, it's a little thing, right? Share.